Hello and everybody, welcome to my face. Just my face, right? Your boy Shine here with another latest Manchester United news straight from India. We are all Indians here and we want everyone else to feel that we are Indians and how we react to whatever is happening with the current state of Manchester United and more or less the Premier League. So, right now, there have been stories about how United and Anthony have agreed on personal terms. So their personal terms are agreed. Anthony's camp right now wants Ajax to agree to whatever bid United is throwing at them, and the bid is said to be something around 80 million, right? 80 million, and might still have add-ons, and that is insane amount of money being thrown at an Eredivisie player. Whereas I think the cheaper option, Gakpo, is around 40, 35, 40 million. So that is still, I think, very viable. But Anthony right now is somehow, I don't know, he feels a bit overpriced. But then you never know, he might turn out to be, the next Eden Hazard for, United. He might turn out to be the next. Which finger do we relate to? He might turn out to be the next Ronaldo. I don't. We don't know that, right? Like both of the names that I just took came from small clubs, and they came because they were scouted very well. So right now, because our scouts are pretty garbage, we have literally no scouts. I don't know if they're doing anything. So everything that we do now, everything that we buy now, are somehow a result of the manager favoring the player. So we have nothing that the scouts are bringing in to the club. We have nothing that the scouts are bringing in to the manager. At least we don't see it, even if there is. So Anthony is a favorite of the manager. So getting him in would be somehow viable to the Ten Hag system of play. So if he comes in, I think uh, there is still some amount of hope left in this United squad right now. So the names that I took, Ronaldo, he was a favorite for Alex Ferguson. He saw him, he admired what Ronaldo did for Sporting Lisbon in that game, also in the Champions League game, also, and I think before that, even I think he was on Sir Alex's radar. And Eden Hazard for Chelsea was, I think, he was scouted pretty well from Lille, right? So these are the two good midfielders that I can wingers or whatever you call them, that I can really relate to with Anthony. But right now, we just hope that the deal goes through sooner or later. I think he should be here before the Southampton game, um, and we might have another player coming in with him. We don't know who that would be. Maybe Gakpo, maybe De Jong. We are also looking for a right back. I don't know. Left back is Malaysia, right? So we are looking for a right back where currently we are kind of struggling right now. So we might go ahead and sign a right back, but we don't know. We don't know. We might sign everything. We have like 300 million according to reports from Daily Mirror. Simon Malak, and he's pretty reliable when it comes to this season, at least. I don't know about other seasons. So the another article that was posted by the Sun, I don't really like the Sun at all, but this season has something in them that makes me read all this. So Manchester United are determined to spend their way out of a crisis by signing three more players this month, according to the reports. Three more players, dude, and it includes Casemiro is already done, so he's not even mentioned here. So Anthony is one of them. De Jong, who knows? We're still in for him. I don't know how or why he's still not looking back at us, but we are still somehow in for him. And I think the third one might be a right back or Gakpo. I don't know. We are dried up on goals, dude. We need something that at the end of the day can score us goals. We need something that can feed Ronaldo to at least, try and get those goals in. We need something that can either convert to a goal or that can lead to a goal directly. So we don't have any of them right now. We have Ronaldo, right? We have Ronaldo, and I think I'm getting a message that yes, the Sun's report is kind of true because the Daily Mirror also has that. So more or less, I think all this said, all this, aside, the problem right now that United has is, even if we get all these players, some of them are still favorites of the manager, like De Jong is a long-term favorite and a long-term persistence of Ten Hag. He likes Anthony a lot, so he was a list on the requirements, what he wanted, wanted at the start of the season. Even if you're paying like 50 million more for him at this point of time, I think getting him in will still be somehow helping or enabling Ten Hag to use his philosophy in the team. At least that's what Ten Hag thinks. So we have to back the manager at all costs. But the problem right now, if you bring a player worth 100 million into the squad, there is a lot of pressure on him, and more or less, not a lot of players can handle the pressure. I hope Anthony is not one of them. He should, or he should go ahead and handle the pressure, because why not? We all want him to handle the pressure, right? We all want him to do good things for United. But the thing is, with the 100 million price tag comes a huge amount of responsibility, and we've seen that in the past. Lukaku, he was just barely okay, dude. Like with a what, 88 million, if I'm not wrong. Pogba, 100 million around. What did he do? Maybe I can recall 3 or 4 good games in whatever time he was here. 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know. Another, I think, Di Maria. He was pretty high on the transfers payment that we made to his former club, right? He didn't do anything for us. So more or less, the moral of the story is, the higher the transfer fee, at least in United, the shittier the player is when he comes in. So I am very skeptical about whatever is going to happen with Anthony. He's a great player. I haven't followed him out and out, but since the time I saw that he was on the radar of Ten Hag, and when Ten Hag was announced as the manager previous season, the last couple of games of the previous season for Ajax, and a couple of games before that, because there were rumors of Ten Hag being appointed and blah blah blah. So I started following his team and his style of play, the high ball that his team wants to play, or he implements it. So I saw Anthony. He looked pretty decent, at least in Eredivisie. I haven't seen him performing out and out for Brazil, but I have seen Eredivisie, at least, if not a lot, then I think 5, 6, 7 games I have. He's pretty decent. But then again, with the price tag, I think if you would have got him for 30 million, I don't know, 40 million, 50 million, 60 million, max, that's with everything included, I would still think the pressure would still be minimal on the player. But with the 100 million price tag, with the 3 digit, with the hundo, dude, it becomes really difficult for any player to cope up with the pressure. Not every player is Ronaldo, not every player is Messi. You cannot just expect players to they're human beings at the end of the day, and you cannot really expect players to out and out perform on every single game. But then with the price tag on top of it, it becomes really difficult. We hope that this is not the correct thing, but I'm just here to point out the facts. And one big example of this high price tag and shitty player, bad value, is Harry Maguire. 80 million with 200k in wages, dude. He's completely garbage. He will never win back the fans. The best thing for him now is to leave, but I don't think anyone is going to buy him. There were Chelsea news. Chelsea did inquire, and that was really solid news coming in from Sky Sports. But then I think they are not going ahead with it, because the wages will always be an issue. No one is going to pay United anything near about half of whatever we bought him for. And neither will the wages be agreed between the clubs and between the parties, because why will Harry Maguire want to have low wages? He will not, right? So yeah, that is it. And I think another big story that was coming in is Wayne Rooney on his interview with Time Sport had particularly quoted that he did not want, if he was Ten Hag, he did not want Rashford and Ronaldo. He would not pick Rashford and Ronaldo to start. So basically, bench Ronaldo, right? We don't care about Rashford because he's been pretty garbage for us for a very long time. So I don't really care about pick him, drop him because he's not doing anything on the pitch as well. So he misses fucking tap-ins. So I don't really even have to say anything about him. But when we go ahead and look at his ideology of why he does not want to pick Ronaldo, he says failure to recruit a number 9 means they relied on Ronaldo against Brentford, which is true. We relied on Ronaldo and we've been doing it for one whole season. We were really relying on him for goals, and if Ronaldo would not have scored, then I don't know what else to do. Even though he didn't train a lot with his team. So, right. He looked like he needs time to get match fit. I agree. I agree to all the points that Wayne Rooney has said here, and I agree to everything that Rooney stands for, the legend that he is. But right now, if you don't pick Ronaldo and Rashford, okay, you don't pick both. So who do you pick? Elanga? You pick Elanga, right? And who? Do we have another forward? So I mean, Elanga and who, right? You replace two players, right? With whom? Whom do you replace them with? I don't know what Rooney was, thinking about that, or what he meant by it. So if you drop both, I don't know whom do you pick. So replying to this, I think Piers Morgan, who's a long-term fan of Ronaldo, he just said one line, right? So he said really bad things that I don't want to say about my club legend Wayne Rooney because I respect him a lot, but I think he has some kind of issues with this uh, this entire drama of Ronaldo. He still has issues with Ronaldo. So right now, because he will always be a legend, right? For me, Rooney will always be a legend. He was a great player for whatever reasons. He won us leagues, he won us games, he captained the side pretty well. He was great, right? But there's certain things that we need to raise voices because he is an English player after all, and we've seen what Gary Neville and everyone in the media have come out and said about United doing this, United doing that, and they speak a bunch of garbage, which does not really make sense most of the times, right? Most of the times they are not very noteworthy. That is what I feel, and that is what a lot of fans feel. There is no point making those comments, and so when you have to back your statements up with some kind of logic. So when you say you drop Rashford and Ronaldo both, who the fuck are we going to play then? We don't have players, dude. We are completely out of charts. If we had Anthony or Gakpo in, then we could have at least questioned that. Yeah, you can bench him, but and start someone else. So who are we starting? Elanga, dude. Like a single-legged Ronaldo is better than Elanga. What match fitness are we talking about here? What match fitness? We didn't do shit against Brentford. We were just play balling. We didn't even create chances. So what match fitness is going to account for at that point of time? Nothing, right? But anyway, Morgan replied to it as, so this is not my quote. This is what Piers Morgan has said. So I suggest. Morgan said on Twitter that Rooney has a managerial win record of 28%. Again, true. And his DC United team lost 6-0. Which it did. Yesterday, his DC United team in the MLS lost 6-0. So I suggest he pipes down with the management advices and endless jealous bitching about Cristiano, whose talent, success, and fitness levels are all dwarf Rooney's. Everything that Piers Morgan said does make logic, but at the end of the day, does make sense. It does, right? Everything that Piers Morgan said somehow does make sense. Whatever Rooney said about match fitness about Ronaldo also does make sense. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that we do not have players. We do not have players to back the other players up, right? We do not have forwards who are like our bench strength is kind of garbage when it comes to midfielders and forwards at least. Maybe our defenders, we have more defenders, who's sitting like Pai. I think he's going to Marseille. But anyway, we had him last time, right? We had whom did we have who was sitting on the bench? Like on the bench we have Phil Jones, right? At least he's a backup, if not anything else. He's sitting on the bench. But as an attacker, who do we have? No one, right? So I don't know what Rooney meant by all of that when he said drop both of them. So, but I agree with dropping of Rashford, but Ronaldo, no. You cannot just drop someone who's giving you goals out and out, and if you just feed the ball to him, there is a greater chance of him scoring than not scoring. So I'd rather have a player who can have that chance percentage, and and not someone who's fully fit but doesn't do anything on the pitch, like Elanga. So I prefer that. This is not biased opinion, but I think it is very feasible opinion. So I think Morgan has some kind of favoritism with Ronaldo. Rooney has some enmity or some kind of beef with Ronaldo at the moment. I don't know. He's an English player, and we all know whatever happened, the wink issue and blah blah blah. So I think we should be over it by now, but people don't really be over everything that they face in life, right? So that was a big incident. So there might be issues here and there, but anyway. So these are the news that were coming in right now, and these are the three main news, I think. And we'll go ahead and cover more news as it comes our way, and we will go ahead and cover Man United versus Liverpool tomorrow. I think we'll go ahead with match reactions. We'll start posting videos on how I react to matches, open my camera and record myself for 90 minutes straight and see what happens in the game, and share clippings on how I think the team played and blah blah blah. But that is it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in, and this is your boy Shine signing out.